everyone, my name is Candice and I work for Orange Grove Vet and Pampered Pets Grooming Parlor. Today I am going to demonstrate to you the process of grooming and bathing your dog at home. So the first thing to know when you're starting the grooming process, it's essential to brush your dog's coat out before you bath them. Especially if your dog has a long coat which tangles easily. When you wet that coat that's already tangled, it will even tangle more and make the process very painful for your dog. Today I'm mainly going to be working with the rake, the slicker, and the pin brush with Chase's coat. So Chase, we're just going to ask to stand. Come on, stand up. That's a good boy. And because Chase has a double coat, we're mainly focused on getting the undercoat, which is molting out. So I'll start with this rake, and you'll start to see the hair come off of his coat. If your dog has a short coat, it's even easier, and usually what you can use with a short coat is something like a Furminator that works really great with like shepherds and Labradors and Retrievers and Huskies. Furminator is excellent for those thick double short coats for Chase. So some long-coated breeds, they get like quite a few knots behind the ear. So then I'll use usually like a slicker brush or even the comb to pull out the knots behind the ear. Luckily Chase's fur isn't bad and he doesn't get knots. If it gets to a point where it's really matted, you sometimes have to cut them out with the scissors. So it's better if you just regularly brush behind the ear. Okay, so I've just turned Chase around because I have to do his other side now. If your dog is not used to you brushing their coat, it's always nice to have some of their kibble or a couple nice snacks nearby to you so as to reinforce that they're being good dogs. If they're not cooperating, sometimes it's okay to just get someone to help you brush. Chase has a bit of dry coat on his back at the moment, which is why we do a medicated bath. So when I'm brushing him, he gets a bit uncomfortable because it's quite itchy. But after his medicated bath, it really does help to take away that flaky, dry, itchy skin. The shampoos that I'm using at the moment for Chase is the first wash is with the hypoallergenic shampoo, just to wet the coat and get it lathered. And then his medicated bath, we use the Alamile shampoo, which is for atopic dermatitis and other skin conditions. With Chase, come, hop up in the back. Good boy. That's a clever boy. Okay, so I just want to get the water the right temperature for Chase. We don't want it to be too cold and we don't want it to be too hot. Okay. There we are. So he's got a double coat, so it takes a little while to get through his whole coat. Put some on his back here and start to lather it into his coat. But with a lot of other people whose dogs don't need medicated baths, what I suggest you do, just to use a normal shampoo is fine. You can get that from your vet or your vet shop or pet shop. Okay, so you can see it all coming off. Yes, that's a nice thing. Okay. So the Alamile, if you read the instructions, it will usually say that you can dilute it to a certain extent. So what I'm going to do is I'll put some of this Alamile into the cap. That's it. And I'm going to put it into my bucket that has water in it already. So you can see that there's a bit of some soapiness going on. If you feel like it's too diluted, you can always just, like, especially in the places that he needs it, like on his back, I'll just put some there. You can see it nicely go in. So that part's got the most on there because it needs it the most, but the rest of the coat isn't too bad, so we'll use the diluted shampoo for those parts. Okay, so Chase has been standing here, being massaged for the past couple minutes. So it's time to rinse off the shampoo. You'll see it comes off really nicely. So let's go. There we are, just. It's nice and shiny and squeaky clean. So before it comes out, we're just going to take off as much water as we can. And put wet trays. Okay, so for me, instead of drying him off with the hair dryer, being a nice autumn day, what I do is I let him dry off outside. And the best reward for Chase to dry off is to play with his frisbee, which also helps me. So his reward for being a good boy is to play with his toy. To show you a process, if you if it's a rainy day outside, or if you can only wash them in the evenings, another option to dry their coat off is using a hair dryer. Just to finish off his coat, we're going to dry off the wet parts. I'm putting it on a sort of medium to low heat, so we brush at the same time. Good boy. Last but not least, even though he's had some fun outside, I always give him a cookie. What's this? Ooh, there's a cookie for being a good boy.